Back in the late 1980s, before I could make a living as an author, I used to type for my rent money. A bunch of us aspiring writers would go into a Park Avenue law firm after it closed at night, put on earphones, and transcribe hours of depositions, mostly from factory workers describing accidents they had on the job, supervisors explaining what the worker had done wrong, or doctors detailing why a finger or toe had to be amputated. It was gruesome stuff, the human collateral damage of industrial production. We word processors got paid more per hour than most of the workers whose cases we mindlessly chronicled. That's because we were computer literate, at a time when almost no one knew how these machines worked. As writers, we knew the ins and outs of then obscure software such as WordPerfect, and could pull in $30 an hour, a king's ransom in the slacker era, helping real businesses transition to the digital age. On my way into the typing pool each evening, I would pass by an artsy young phone receptionist from the day shift packing up to leave. We'd exchange pleasantries and obscure music and comics references as I worked up the courage to ask her out. But before I even had the chance, she was replaced by a computer. What digital giveth, digital taketh away. Like many other companies in the late 1980s, the law firm had adopted a new technology known as the auto attendant. From then on, instead of being greeted and routed by a live human being, callers would get the now familiar computer operator script, "If you know your party's extension." It was probably most people's first real experience interacting with a computer. But the whole innovation always struck me as a step backward, and not just because it cost me my chance with the artsy receptionist. From the company's side, it's simply a cost-saving measure. After an initial technological investment, they can dispense with the operators, as well as the paychecks, health benefits, air conditioning, sexual harassment suits, and other costs associated with human employees. Reducing the bottom line is a great way to create the illusion of top-line growth. It's the callers who pay the price. Most of us are all too familiar with the frustration of winding down a series of menus, entering in all our numbers and dates and codes, only to get stuck in an endless loop or worse, disconnected. Any efficiency gained by the company is more than offset by the efficiency lost to everyone else. Sure, a company's shareholders may be happy about the reduction in employees, right until they're trying to reach someone in investor relations on the phone and find themselves as fed up as everyone else. In essence, the cost of the single company's receptionists has been externalized to all the callers, costing more total time and money to the entire network of businesses and customers. And since every company is doing it, refusal to go digital amounts to a competitive disadvantage. Resistance to this automation is so novel, in fact, that some banks and cable TV providers now advertise the fact that they have real humans answering the phone. But in the longer term, and especially in a highly connected digital economy, nothing is external. The time and expense that a company passes on to its customers, suppliers, and vendors eventually come right back in the form of reduced sales volume, higher costs, and less feedback, respectively. A company should want its human customers to enjoy interacting with it. We should want to cost our suppliers as little as possible, so that they can in turn offer us the best prices. And we should want to interact directly with our vendors, so we know what exactly is happening on the front lines. A living human interface provides better intelligence than any survey a company can offer after the fact. Automated menu items dump every incoming human request or problem into a pre-configured category, like bins on an assembly line. The call that requires an unforeseen category, well, that's the customer a company loses, and the intelligence that slips through the cracks of a hopelessly industrial age approach to digital technology in the workplace. The headlines, just like the displaced workers themselves, blame computers for this conundrum. But it's not the fault of digital technology at all. Rather, it's the fault of a digitally charged business model that stresses the efficiency and growth of companies at the expense of the human beings they should be serving. And serving humans isn't merely some new age value system that needs protecting against the realities of real-world business. It's the fundamental reason for business in the first place, to create ongoing value for customers, employees, and owners. Somehow, growth has become an end in itself, the engine of the economy, and human beings have come to be understood as impediments to its functioning. If only people and our idiosyncratic demands could be eliminated, business would be free to reduce costs, increase consumption, extract more value, and grow bigger. This is one of the primary legacies of the industrial age, when the miraculous efficiency of machines appeared to offer us a path to infinite growth, at least to the extent that human interference could be minimized. Applying the same ethos in a digital age means replacing the receptionist with a computer, the factory worker with a robot, and the manager with an algorithm. It's all just a new digital way of running the same old program. Counterintuitively, perhaps, the greater opportunity of our new digital environment is to retrieve the human values we left behind in the last big technological upheaval. The word digital itself refers to the digits, the 10 fingers we humans used to build, to count, and to program computers in the first place. That we should now be witnessing a renaissance in makers, crafts, and artisanal production is no coincidence. The digital landscape encourages production from the periphery, lateral trade, and the distribution of wealth. Instead of depending on centralized institutions for sustenance, we begin to depend on one another. The transparency offered by the digital media landscape has the potential to lay bare the workings of industrialism. Meanwhile, digital technology itself provides us the means to reprogram many business sectors from the ground up, and in ways that distribute value to their many human stakeholders instead of merely extracting it. But doing so requires a rather radical reversal in the way we evaluate business processes and the purpose of technology itself. By reducing human beings to mere cogs in a machine, we created the conditions to worship growth over all other economic virtues. We must reckon with how and why we did this.